Hello, welcome to Reframing Mindset Podcast. We are clear my head of the thoughts that are preventing clarity, practice my speech, among other things. Episodes range from informative knowledge to funny stories about my experiences, and in the future, maybe include interviews. So subscribe and enjoy. Episodes drop every other day. Okay, now welcome back to Reframe Mindset Podcast. My name is Constant Brooks. I know this episode is going to talk about the fourth week. Yeah, because I actually finished the fourth week now. The recording of this episode. I've been employed. Wow. I actually made it to a month of being employed. That's wild. That's wild. But the last if you listen to the third week episode, you'd have learned that it sounded a bit more upbeat. Like I was, seem excited. Like yeah, uh, they make it seem good. This week was different, bro. This week was like yeah, we're getting down to business. We're getting down to business. That was what it's like. It's getting officially employed, all this stuff. And the thing about it that it's because we're actually not employed yet. We're just in training. We're just in training. So basically, what was happening was that we were getting all the tools that if we get officially employed, that's what we'll be using. And what happened is that, it's in preparation for the fifth week, which will be our mock, be like, like will be like our mock exam. So basically, we're going to apply what we've been learning for the first 4 weeks, and then if it depend and if we pass that, we're going to actually get employed, and then going to the next phase, which basically would be on the job training. And but if we fail, I guess we'll get terminated then. So I get this last episode now will be the could be either the last the last episode where I talk about my 9 to 5 journey or the beginning So that's so when this episode released, the suspense, you're going to see the suspense I've seen. You're going to wonder if they're going to be another 95 episode. Well, they're going to be a few more 95 episodes, but supposed to be a few more 95 episodes coming out. But will the fifth week episode will that be released? That's what they're going to that's the suspense you have to look out for. So either the next episode will be unfortunately I'll get laid off, or the fifth week will be my fifth week. How did the fifth week go? So that's yeah. So this podcast will get has gotten excited, bro. You have a suspense. You have a live suspense as to what as something to look forward to. You know, will he get the job or will he not get the job? But I actually got paid for the 2 weeks that I have been working so far. And the wildest thing has been seeing how basically the tax that they rip from the pay, bro. Legit is it's wild, bro. It's wild. Like I legit see my paycheck split in half. Split in half. And not literally half, but basically it was basically half when I see the paycheck, bro. It was literally split in two. I was like, bro, this is what they do. No wonder it's like people living paycheck to paycheck. And one of the thing is one of the main reasons why before I went back into the working world again was why I tried to reframe my mindset and get all my cost of living expenses and stuff in order, because I expected this. I expected that the pay I expect going in expecting that the pay would be low, and it wasn't low. It was just that the tax that is being ripped off, is basically splitting the paycheck in half. But because I prepare for that, even though it's really sickening to actually see it, I'm, I can actually tolerate it and make the progress regardless. You know, so that's one of the things I guess if you're the listener, you hear people, you heard it all the time. The tax that they rip out of the paycheck is real. It's real. It's really real. Yo, if you're not prepared for it to make you cry, bro, it make you cry. You know, but if you're prepared for it, then while you still cry, you won't hurt as much because you have a preparation ready to actually deal with it. So that's basically one of the next. So that's one of the things, one of the reasons why I actually went this long, slow way to get back into the 9 to 5 world because my mindset, the mindset has to be right actually when approaching this 9 to 5 world. Because if you don't approach it right, you'll basically be one of those other 9 to 5 employees, bro. That basically is on the whim of being at a job. If you basically get fired, you're fired you're out of work. You're basically doomed, you know. But if you actually prepared, have a vision for yourself and have other plans, the job is basically a supplement. And it's not a means of you saying going there and just going to do half work. No. Is that you actually be targeting the jobs that actually help to build your vision, and then if you do get the job, you can see how this job experience can actually help you with the vision. And that's all of that is because you actually have to you take the time to actually reframe your mindset, think about how you're going to approach the job in the right way because everybody wants to go into the job for the money. Like legit, even when I was in the job, they literally weren't hiding it. They was like, yo, I know it's like everybody there know that okay, we're there for the money because it's a business. They're in the business of making money. So it's like there was no hiding it. And the thing is that their compensation is based on how well you perform. So if you do well, you get paid more. So it's like it was that that's basically what separates school from work. Work they're clear about, we're in the business of in the business of making money. So like if you're not performing, bro, it just ain't cut it, you know. In school, they try to sugarcoat it and then they start to slap you with hard with that stuff. In the work, they tell you from the first day, yo, I know you guys here to make money. You have to hide it. We're in the business of making money. So I'm just trying to prepare you as well as possible so that you can make as much money for us as possible. That's the thing. It's up to you to decide if you're going to do it to make money for the company or you're going to just take this opportunity to make money while making money for the company. I start something for yourself as well because the company just lied to the company. They give you a lot of benefits and stuff like that to make it a very nice stay. But at the end of the day, the company comes first, and so you have to really think about that. But yeah, the fourth week really was serious. Like at the end of it, it was pretty chill because what happened was that this is basically our last week in basically training because the next week coming. Now we call this on the fourth weekend. So the next week um will be me. So the day after this episode is released, I'll be going to the mock exam. So if I failed, I'm basically out. But what happens that we have two chances. So I'll try my best. I'll try my best to actually get it on the first take. Try my best. I think I learned a lot and stuff like that, and I've retained a lot. But the hard part is basically me communicating. That's actually the hard part because if you know the podcast, you realize I'm really not great at communicating. I'm not the best talker. So this job really requires me to become a whole different person. So I have to become a whole different person for this exam, but if I have to actually try because it's really a big step that I actually need to actually progress to the next level. And if I don't get it, I guess it's not the end of the world, but basically detour the plan again. I will be back at square one, actually looking for a job again. Yeah, but yeah, that's that's basically my summation for week four. You so what I can say is that is the working world is really it can be really be like a home away from home while literally job cutthroat at the same time. That legit how I saw it this 4 weeks when it was basically a home away from home. Well, not literally home because that's not really how I see it, but in a base how I see the people who were working there, l- the person that trained me and his and the employees were they were like family there, and then they were like family there, and then like legit when it was down to business, it was like literally cut through. So it's like it was it was two at one. So that's basically you know how you're going to see how the the working world going to be. It's not it's it's not fun and games. You know, it's not a joke. It's not a joke. They're in the business to making money. If you're not making the money, you're out. You're out. So that's it. Yeah. So that's basically for this episode. You know, thanks for listening. I look forward for the next episode. Hmm.
Well, this is the end of the episode. Thanks for watching and look forward for the next episode. To support this podcast, go to anchor.fm/cssb/support or become a sponsor for this episode. If you have a product that you want to have more exposure, DM me on the Instagram page, Reframing Mindset Podcast, or on Twitter at ReframingP. Either way would help. Thank you regardless for listening, and here's a preview for the next episode.
Since we're at the end of 2022, what Spotify usually do is do their Spotify Wrapped, which is basically some stats that I accumulated based on how well I did. I mean, how well you guys like the episodes, that I release. So I guess this episode is just going to go over it, just to see what we have done, what we have done this year. Who would have thought? Yeah. So basically, in 2022, I created 2,141 minutes of new content. That's more than 99% that of more than 99% of other creators in the education category.